Ever wonder if there's another Earth out there? Well, guess what? In 2024, the James Webb Space Telescope might have just found a few candidates. But before you pack your bags for interstellar travel, hold on. There's a bit more to the story. We've got fascinating discoveries, potential water worlds, and yes, even a splash of "Are we alone in the universe?" alien intrigue. Stick around, because you'll want to know what this all means for the future of space exploration. Our first stop will be LHS 1140b. This planet is located in the habitable zone of its star, LHS 1140, meaning it could potentially support liquid water, which is a pretty big deal when it comes to life. As we know it, LHS 1140b is a super-Earth, larger than Earth, but smaller than the gas giants. It orbits its star every 25 days, which is like the cosmic equivalent of speed dating. And the star? It's a red dwarf, a cool and dim star that's surprisingly chill, not emitting those nasty stellar flares that could strip away the planet's atmosphere. But here's where it gets interesting. What kind of planet is LHS 1140b? Based on the data, it could be either a snowball covered in ice and snow, or a water world, with oceans stretching as far as the eye can see. If it's a snowball, it might be too far from its star to warm up. But if it's a water world, well, we're talking about a potential paradise for life. Either way, this planet has astronomers buzzing with excitement. Quick pause. If you're finding this mind-blowing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss out on more cosmic discoveries like this. Plus, check out other videos on our channel for more space adventures. Now, back to the intergalactic goodness. So, while the JWST's findings are super cool, and trust me, they're not definitive proof of life. It's more like finding breadcrumbs and assuming there's a whole loaf of bread around the corner. There might be, but we haven't seen it yet. And why aren't scientists more excited, you ask? Well, they are excited, but they're also cautious. In science, jumping to conclusions is a big no-no. It's like assuming you've won the lottery because you found a lucky penny. Sure, it's a sign of something, but it's not the jackpot. Scientists are taking a closer look at the data, running simulations, and basically doing all the nerdy stuff. They do best to figure out what's really going on. They're also keeping an eye on other potential signs of life, like specific chemical patterns that are harder to explain without living organisms. And here's a little trivia for you. Did you know that the James Webb Space Telescope is so sensitive it could detect a bumblebee's heat signature from the distance of the moon? Crazy, right? Just imagine what it can do with these distant planets. Future research will focus on understanding the composition of LHS 1140b's atmosphere in more detail. This will involve analyzing the data collected by the JWST and possibly using other telescopes to study the exoplanet. Additionally, astronomers will try to determine the exact temperature of the exoplanet's surface, which will help in understanding its habitability. So, while we're not quite ready to declare LHS 1140b the next Earth, the discovery is a major breakthrough in the search for life beyond our planet. Whether it's a snowball or a water world, this exoplanet is a fascinating place that could hold many secrets yet to be uncovered. But wait, there's one more. So let's talk about WASP-39b, a planet that's just hanging out 700 light-years away from us. Now, I know what you're thinking. 700 light-years? That's like Really far, right? Yep, you'd need to travel at the speed of light for 700 years straight to get there. No biggie. But here's where it gets interesting. Thanks to JWST, we've spotted something super exciting.
A Utah Valley University professor helped discover carbon dioxide on a planet outside the solar system. Dr. Joshua Lothringer is part of an international planetary exploration team. Now, they used NASA's James Webb Space Telescope to make this discovery. They found carbon dioxide on a planet 700 light years away from Earth. This is the first time that CO2 has been discovered on a planet outside the solar system. And he says he hopes this discovery is just the beginning of more research they can continue to do in the future.
This is really just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning of these looking at these planets. The telescope's brand new. We're just getting all this data for all these different planets, and WSP-39 was just the first planet that we looked at. So yeah, hopefully we'll get dozens and dozens of these planets and be able to look at their atmospheres, see what's different, see what's the same, and try and understand how the atmospheres got that way.
The scientists say this is critical because in space exploration, it builds a foundation that can be used to search smaller terrestrial-sized planets for signs of life. A pretty cool discovery right there.
This space behemoth has picked up the clear signature of carbon dioxide in WSP-39b's atmosphere. And let me tell you, finding CO2 out there is a big deal. It's like finding out your boring neighbor is actually a secret rock star. This is the first time we've seen CO2 on an exoplanet, and it's a total game changer in the search for habitable worlds. Now, why should you care about a bunch of space gas? Well, detecting and studying atmospheres is crucial when we're trying to figure out if a planet could actually support life. You know, like the kind of life that doesn't require spacesuits and oxygen tanks. An atmosphere is like a planet's cozy blanket. It protects it from harmful radiation, keeps it warm, and might even allow liquid water to hang out on the surface. So, finding CO2 in WSP-39b's atmosphere hints that it could have some of the right conditions to support life as we know it. This discovery is just a tiny taste of what JWST can do when it comes to studying exoplanets. With its super-sensitive instruments and precise measurements, we're probably going to stumble upon more alien worlds with fascinating atmospheres. Imagine the possibilities. Speaking of imagination, if you could live on any planet, real or fictional, which one would it be? Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to know who's Team Tatooine and who's Team Pandora. Now back to WSP-39b. The implications of finding CO2 there are huge. If this planet can hold on to an atmosphere, who's to say there aren't others out there with the right conditions for life? This is the closest we've ever been! It feels like we're close to finding a truly alien world, and we're only just scratching the surface. Imagine a planet smaller than Earth, but bigger than Venus, chilling out around a tiny star just 40 light-years away. That's about 235 trillion miles. But hey, who's counting? This little world, named Gliese 12b, has caught the attention of not one, but two teams of scientists who are all abuzz about its potential to support life. Gliese 12b orbits a cool red dwarf star, hanging out in the constellation Pisces. Its star is only about 27% the size of our Sun and 60% as hot. This means it's like the Sun's laid-back cousin who prefers cozy sweater weather. And because this star is so small, Gliese 12b is still in the habitable zone. You know, the sweet spot where liquid water might exist, even though it zips around its star every 12.8 days. Yep. A year on Gliese 12b is like a couple of weeks for us. Now, if you're thinking, so what's the weather like there? Well, scientists estimate the surface temperature to be around 107 degrees Fahrenheit or 42 degrees Celsius. That's like a hot summer day on Earth, So maybe pack some sunscreen if you're planning to visit. In, say, 225,000 years. Yeah, it's not exactly around the corner. Masayuki Kuzuhara, who's basically one of the space rock stars behind this discovery, had this to say about the discovery. We've found the nearest, transiting, temperate, Earth-sized world to date. This little planet was spotted using NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESSE for short. TESS is like a cosmic detective, constantly on the lookout for stars that dim just a bit when a planet passes in front of them. And since red dwarf stars are on the smaller side, they give off a bigger wink when a planet like Gliese 12b does its thing. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Scientists aren't exactly sure what's going on with Gliese 12b's atmosphere. Does it have one? Is there water? Or has it already turned into a mini Venus with a runaway greenhouse effect? No one knows for sure yet, but they're on the case with JWST ready to do some serious detective work. The JWST might even tell us what kind of molecules are in Gliese 12b's atmosphere, using starlight to figure out what a planet is made of that's like the universe's coolest chemistry class ever. So, while Gliese 12b might be one of our best bets for a habitable world, don't pack your bags just yet. It's only 12 parsecs away, which is about 39 light years, or roughly 225,000 years of travel with today's fastest spacecraft. Alright, before you go off daydreaming about moving to an alien planet, you need to watch our next video on Kepler 22b. Trust me, if you're into exploring potentially habitable worlds, this is the video for you. What you just learned won't make sense without it. Kepler 22b is the planet everyone's buzzing about, and some are even calling it Earth 2.0. If these exoplanets got you excited, Kepler 22b is going to blow your mind. So, click over and let's see if we found our next home in the stars. See you there.